showtime, where we take this worldwide. Let's go. Listen. So now it's time to turn it up. Surf the radio waves as we begin to burn it up. We all up in your area like landscape, definitely bringing you the pancakes. It's a mandate that you tune in. It's time to move out so we can move in and recognize that this is no illusion. I'm here to clear the air so that there is no confusion. It all started off in the book of Genesis when Jacob was wrestling with who he thought was his nemesis. And when the man saw he couldn't overpower him, he touched his hip but he really couldn't devour him. And from that point, then we hear a name change, rearrange the game, so now we gotta change lanes. So I'm here to let you know it's time to listen to the Pancake and Powerslam Show. Let's go! Turn it up, it's the Pancake and Powerslam. Turn it up, it's the Pancake and Powerslam. Turn it up, it's the Pancake and Powerslam Show. Turn it up, it's the Pancake and Powerslam. Turn it up, it's the Pancake and Powerslam. Turn it up, it's the Pancake and Powerslam Show. Turn it up.
There we go. Episode 511, ladies and gentlemen. This is Dr. Chris Featherstone. It's Pancakes and Powerslams Show. We're getting live. We're live and living color. Getting funky, if you will. We're live, pal, ladies and gentlemen. Like I was saying before I saw that the mic was muted. Shorter show today. Probably 40 minutes or so. 35, 40 minutes. Tired and ready to relax because I've had some family emergency. I had a family emergency the past couple of days. Some family health issues. So give me your prayers for a speedy recovery for a very integral family member. So I'm just going to spend some time to relax. But I'm here, baby. I'm here as always, live and living color on the mothership with the PNP Nation. So we're going to have fun as always. All right, PNP Nation, how are y'all doing? Welcome to the new setup. This is the studio vibe that I've been trying to put all together for probably nearly 2 years now. I've had, so interesting because I've had all this stuff for so long, and it's just been camping on my podcast table. And I've have this very expensive piece of equipment right in front of me called a camera. Some cool lighting and, very expensive laptop and soundboard and cool lights and, little decor right there. And I've been waiting to do this for a long time, and I just haven't had the time. And I just wanted to make sure my internet speed was good, so there won't be any delays. So I, bumped up my internet speed, bumped up the cost to make sure what I'm all about presentation. I'd rather wait a while for a good presentation than deliver something prematurely. So I've been waiting for this. I've had good help. I'm a DJ, so I'm familiar with soundboards and things like that. But when it comes to techie stuff, when it comes to computer stuff, I'm cool. I know how to set things up. I set up my desktop and did all that. But when it comes to like control stuff, with laptops and stuff, and I thought I knew it, but and it was fine with my laptop, and then I was having some issues with the software in conjunction with my soundboard, and this is a condenser mic, my Yeti, that I've used for 5 years now or so as a USB mic. So yeah, just a whole lot of different stuff that just came in the way. I've had this cool lighting for a while, but I just want the presentation to be good. So finally, I was like, you know what? It's time. It is time to make this happen. So I had a little help from my friends, as Joe Cocker would say. And I had a good buddy come over, and you know, I had an idea. He had an idea, and he was like, "Let's just start from scratch. Let's gut it all out, reset the whole thing to make a really, really nice podcast feel." And I said, absolutely. That's something I've been wanting to do for years now, and it's here. It's finally here, and I absolutely love the result. I loved how it turned out. You remember this bookshelf that was right next to me in my when I was sitting in front of my desktop. So yeah, we moved that around. Guitar right there was hanging up. A couple other minor stuff, but love. I actually have a pretty cool ability to change the lighting on my phone, but I love that purple lighting feel with blue contrast right there. So yeah, big fan of the turnout, and it looks like the PNP Nation is as well. So welcome. After 511 episodes, the PNP studio feel is finally here. So lots of fun. Thank you very, very much for your stick-to-itiveness with just hanging with me, just like you always do. And it's interesting because the first couple of years of Pancakes and Powerslams Show, April will be, ladies and gentlemen, April will be 10 years. I just remember us having our Dyer episode with all the cameos of Drew McIntyre and Ricky Steamboat and DDP, all those cameos. That was 9 months ago. That was over 9 months ago. Wow. Time is just flying, ladies and gentlemen. So we are less than 3 months away from our 10-year anniversary. So, of course, I got to get a big guest. So, yeah, that's in the works right now. All right. You know what? Speaking of that, Ask Dr. Chris. I love the hashtag, but I want to make it shorter for you all, for PNP Nation. Just instead of typing all that, Ask Doc, D-O-C. All right. Hashtag Ask Doc. That is the new hashtag. Instead of typing 10 letters, 9 letters, instead of typing 9 letters, only type 6. Okay. Well, really 10, because you have to type the hashtag too. So I'll save you 3. Okay. I'll save you 3. So Ask Doc, D-O-C, hashtag Ask Doc. All right. Let's see. Until then, we've got a bunch of Ask Dr. Chris questions. Alonzo is asking, should Big E and Bianca Belair win the Royal Rumble? Big E, yes. I've said that. That was my number 1 pick. I'm still going with that. I'm hoping that it is Big E. I think Big E should win. Vince Russo and I talk about that. Alonzo, you're an avid fan of my shows, which I greatly appreciate. And I think that Big E should win. I think, and it really drew the theme of my show today. Where are all the baby faces? You literally had someone, I think he just had an interview with Sports Illustrated, if I'm not mistaken. He literally talked about how he was not happy with his first WWE Championship run. I hate to say I told you so, but guess what? I told you so. I said this back in September when he teased it, he tweeted it. He kept talking about the whole Raw episode, teasing the cash in. Now, sure, granted, I know that helps the anticipation for a Raw show, which I didn't disagree with that. The way that he did it, it makes sense because it makes people want to draw from the very beginning. Makes people want to stay with Raw the whole time. I get it, okay? But at the same time, it took the element away from the surprise cash in, which I love the surprise cash in. His character wasn't established enough to do an announced cash in. RVD, his character was strong enough at the time to do an announced cash in, and the announcement was at an ECW pay-per-view. So it made perfect sense for RVD to announce his cash in. Big E's announcing his cash in on a Raw. Raw sucks. I mean, there's hardly any anticipation for a Raw event nowadays. Him announcing it, I just felt like it was lackluster. And I said that. Go back to the Raw show. Go back to the post-Raw show of Vince and I on that night. And you will hear in September when he won it 4 months ago, you will hear from me that I'm so happy that he won the championship, but I wish the stage was bigger. I said that over and over and over and over again. I wish the stage was bigger. And I still stand by it because he won it on Raw and his booking was horrible. It's so funny. I actually, on Wrestling Rumors, I posted a list of his abysmal record. Yes, he has some quality wins. He beat Drew. I think it was Kevin Owens, maybe. But here's the thing. Here's how bad his win-loss record was. All right, he won the title on the 13th of September. On the 20th, he lost to Roman Reigns in a triple threat and the Bloodline in a trios match on the next Raw. The very next Raw, he lost twice. Lost to the Usos by countout on September the 10th. Okay? Just a couple weeks later. He, a few weeks later, he loses to the Usos. The next month, he loses to Seth Rollins and the Usos on November the 15th. Also in November, he loses to Roman Reigns cleanly at Survivor Series, which is, again, go back to the Survivor Series pre-show and post-show, and you will hear from me. You will hear from me that I think it's a terrible idea to do this type of Survivor Series format. It was the beginning of the end of the big, larger-than-life potential of booking Drew McIntyre, losing cleanly to Roman Reigns, hurt his career more than it helped. All right, and Drew McIntyre, other than Big E, Drew McIntyre is my favorite wrestler in WWE. I'm actually cool with him. Super nice guy. And it was so disturbing to have Roman Reigns beat Drew McIntyre and nothing come from it. Nothing. Still nothing. There's potential of him, if he's well enough, him versus Roman versus Brock is rumored for a triple threat match, but it's still not a one-on-one. They need a one-on-one with Roman. Drew McIntyre, Roman Reigns has not been pinned in a singles match. Really, been pinned at all, but specifically been pinned in a singles match in over 2 years. And Drew McIntyre needs to break that streak. Drew McIntyre needs the babyface rub. And I would even say, to a greater extent, Big E needs to win the Royal Rumble, and he needs to go to SmackDown, and he needs to go against Roman Reigns. If I had it my way, it would be an amazing night for the New Day, and it would be an amazing night for the African American community. You want to create feel-good moments. Just think about what it would do just to create a WrestleMania feel-good moment. You want to create WrestleMania moments that will live, in generations to come. Okay? If Big E won the Royal Rumble, defected to SmackDown, went against Roman for the Universal Championship, then you have a rematch between the Usos and the New Day. You have the New Day win at WrestleMania. You have Big E win at WrestleMania at the very last match of the night, night 2. Excuse me. Just think. Some in my throat there. Just think about the feel-good moment that would create. Kofi Mania was super infectious. Kofi Mania was lightning in a bottle. Okay, you cannot create a lightning in a bottle moment. It's just it feels contrived. You cannot try to recreate a lightning in a bottle moment. It just wouldn't. It's just not possible. Okay, it has to be organic. It has to be real. It has to be genuine. And you have you have lightning in a bottle moments, once every blue moon, essentially. But another moment that you can create is a feel-good moment at WrestleMania. And that's what WrestleMania is all about. It's about creating highlight reels that you play 10 years, 15 years later. And what you will have, if you do it like this, Big E beats Roman, New Day beats the Usos, and at the end of WrestleMania 38, you have the New Day standing tall, all three of them holding their titles, pyro, show goes off. What a moment in professional wrestling. That's what you do. Continuing with his losing streak, with his set of losses. Lost to Kevin Owens by disqualification on November 29th, right after Survivor Series. Lost to Bobby Lashley on December 13th. And he lost the title to Brock Lesnar. Got pinned, by the way. There's 5 people in the match. Brock Lesnar could have pinned 4 other people. He could have pinned 3 other people. He could have pinned Seth Rollins. He could have pinned Kevin Owens. He could have pinned Bobby Lashley. He should have pinned Kevin Owens. Kevin Owens should have been the fall guy. Kevin Owens had the least amount of stock in that 5-way match. So he should have been the one pinned. But no. They pinned the champion. Terrible idea. So Big E should win. Yes. Should Bianca Belair win? No. Bianca Belair should win a number one contenders match, or she should just be in a Roman. There's no pay-per-view between the Royal Rumble and WrestleMania. So Bianca Belair should be just in a feud leading into WrestleMania against Becky Lynch. And she should be Becky Lynch for the Raw Women's Championship. Naomi should win the Royal Rumble for the women's side. And Naomi should beat Charlotte Flair. So the New Day, all three of them win titles. Naomi wins the SmackDown Women's Championship. Bianca Belair wins the Raw Women's Championship. Wow, I tell you. What a night WrestleMania 38 would be. That would be amazing. Ricky, that was my first interview with Glacier. My first. Very nice guy, by the way. Super nice guy. Thank you, Chris. C. Rye. I'm going to start calling you C. Rye. Thank you, C. Rye. Yes. Appreciate you giving a shout out to my background lights. Fever all day. Slept off and on. I went to get a COVID test early. I won't find out for 2 or 3 days. Get you some rest, Elvis. That's fever is one of the initial signs, one of the biggest signs for COVID, unfortunately. With Omicron, it's a little different. Runny nose, new frequent coughing, I think. A lot of fatigue is what I studied about Omicron. Delta, I know it's headaches. Headaches is for Omicron too. Bad headaches. Delta's fever. The original strand, which I had last April, was fever was the number one indicator of a potential COVID. But yeah, fever is still up there as far as indicators that someone has COVID, unfortunately. Body aches. That's real. That's a strong indicator too. So rest up, Elvis. Rest up. Rest up. I hope you feel better. Praying for you, man. Hashtag Ask Doc. Who's heel out of Reigns versus Rollins and Lynch versus Doudrop? All 4 of them. And that's the crazy part of this. That's, again, the theme is, where are the baby faces? Where are the baby faces? Terrible. You need to be building up baby faces. And I'm feeling some type of way that Brock Lesnar is funny because people, you know, they even Sting, you know, people talk about him, which Sting is ageless and timeless, due to be 63 years old in 2 months. And he's still going like he's in his 40s. But even still, you know, people just find stuff to talk about. They find stuff to troll. By the way, if you like of course, if you know PNP Nation, I know that y'all got my back. Start commenting on the Legion of Raw post shows. Start commenting on those YouTube pages because we want to get those algorithms up. We get really good numbers, but it's always good to get those algorithms up. And I noticed that I got a ton of support. But unfortunately, negative comments, some, not all, not many, but some negative comments are the ones that stick there. So PNP Nation, go ahead and comment on that, the Legion of Raw post show with Vince Russo and I. So that would be greatly appreciated. But yeah, the heel out of Reigns and Rollins, Lynch and Doudrop. Again, that's the theme of the night. Brock Lesnar. You know, people talk about Sting getting old, Undertaker getting old, Oldberg. And they say all those things about, you know, legends. And all of a sudden, when it comes to Brock Lesnar, he can just come in, take the top babyface spot, just come in, just yank somebody's babyface spot, and I like Brock's character. I think it's great. I think Brock is so underrated as a seller. Brock is one of the best sellers in all of pro wrestling, period. You have a lot of people who all these false finishes and all that crap. False finishes it's good if it prolongs the story in the ring and highlight and heightens the anticipation. I'm all for false finishes. That's the reason why I'm cool with them in New Japan. New Japan is notorious for false finishes, though. That New Japan can get way out of hand. Rainmaker number 8. Kazuchika Okada is one of my top 5 favorite wrestlers. Has been for the past few years. But there's a really good chance that the first Rainmaker is not going to do the job. It's probably going to be the 5th that's going to do the job with Kazuchika Okada, unfortunately. But you do all that stuff. But what I do like about Brock Lesnar is that it doesn't need a bunch of false finishes. He's really good at selling. Like, he's a really, really good seller. So I'll give him that. Brock Lesnar does his thing. He's clock in, clock out. He's not all about, being a mark for the business, which I'm cool when people are marks for the business, but not at other people's expense, though. Being a mark for the business is like enjoying your job and wanting people to succeed. But a lot of people are marks for the business, and they want to get themselves ahead and step on everybody else, which is a terrible way to do business. But at the same time, you need to protect your character too. You don't want to just put anybody over and because of no reason. So there's a balance. There's a healthy balance. With Brock Lesnar, he's a good seller, but he's yanking people's spots, man. He's coming in and just totally just bullying the top babyface spot. You need to be building up babyfaces and bringing in someone like Edge and Brock Lesnar, although they have amazing, stock still, but that's not the way to build babyfaces up. So none of them are babyfaces in that list, unfortunately. What you got? Hashtag ask Doc. Lonzo, what would Vince McMahon have thought about Vince McMahon have thought about Austin Theory's performance in the match against AJ Styles? Well, let me tell you something. You want to know how I feel about your performance against AJ Styles. I told you to expect the unexpected. That was not unexpected. You allowed someone from NXT to roll and cause you to lose the match. That's how I feel about Austin Theory against AJ Styles. Grayson who? That's what Vince McMahon would say. Dion's got Randy Orton winning again. No. Can't hear me. I'm on mute. Oh, no. Okay. Okay. This was a while ago. Cool. Okay. I'm up. Yes. Sidney Poitier, one of the greatest actors of all time. Mike's been listening since episode 300. Nice. Thanks, man. Thanks, Mike. You've been listening for 211 episodes. Good stuff, man. Thank you. Ask Doc. They already announced Charlotte is main eventing one of the two nights. Oh, it's horrible. Unless it's against Naomi. I'm cool if it's against Naomi. Ask Doc. Aaron. I wish Big E would have cast in on Roman. I think it would have been a feel-good moment, and you can make a top babyface too. Yeah, I agree. Surprise cash in though, because cash in against the Miz just. I mean, it was against Bobby Lashley, who, they was establishing as a top heel. He was a good top. He was a good heel, but Roman Reigns is the guy. He's the guy. So that's the way to make a babyface. X Doc, Tina, Big E, Bianca, even Montez Ford could be huge baby faces for the company. You hear of WWE wanting to appeal to families, but there's no huge baby for the kids to get behind. Do you think that will shoot them in the foot? Fantastic point, Tina. Yeah, I do. One, from a standpoint of merchandise, I mean, like, for instance, Naomi's all about the glow. She's this glow queen, right? And Naomi has the ability to absolutely revolutionize the merchandise, the women's merchandise industry in the WWE by having glow sticks, glow gear, boas, green boas, everything. Like, so many kids would buy Naomi's stuff. They are missing out on so much money by not making Naomi a top star. Now, I'm hoping that I'm not confident in WWE, that's unfortunate, but I'm hoping that this Sonya Deville trash is actually leading to something bigger, okay? Not just a match with Sonya Deville, but I'm hoping that it leads to actually a match against Naomi winning the Royal Rumble and going against Charlotte for the championship and winning it. So that's what I'm hoping. Yeah, I like Montez Ford. I like Street Profits. I mean, again, you could be selling solo cups, with their signatures on there. So I mean, it's just so much merchandise that you're missing out because your booking creative is so lazy. You're missing out on so much money. There's so much money left on the table. I really hope that they reconsider. Ask Doc. Kofi and Daniel Bryan were the only two recent organic moments I can recall during WrestleMania season. I like your New Day Mania scenario. Thank you, TLT. And 100% agree. Kofi and DB were the only two recent organic moments. 100% agree with that. Daniel Bryan was 30? Kofi was I was there. That was in New York. So that was 35, right? Yeah, 35. It was 35 in New York. So that's a 5-year, so we're having organic moments once every 5 years, feel good babyface moments once every 5 years. Is that how we rolling out? Is that how we rolling now? Tap out. Good thoughts there. C-Rye. C-Rye asks, what's your thoughts on Knockouts champ Mickie James in the Rumble? Sounds like there might be a huge name in the men's Rumble. Who do you think it could be? Mickie James is not signed to Impact, although she's the Impact champion. That's what I heard, at least. So WWE is more apt to bring her to the Royal Rumble. I just, Okay. I mean, if you're in it for the payday, I'll give you that. If you're in it for the payday, I'll give you that. Okay. Get that money for your family, but is it at the expense of your dignity and personal integrity? Because the way that they treated a legend like Mickie James, what a shame. What an absolute shame. So it's been a surprise that Mickie James, after what WWE did to her, is willing to come back just for a Mania spot, just to stay for a few hiccups and get eliminated. So it would be intriguing if she was in the final four, but the way that they treated her, yikes. Liv and Becky at Mania, that's not happening. Liv is very green. She's not ready. She's not ready. Let's see. Tune in to watch you. Thank you, man. Thank you. Reigns should win. Nope. Reigns should not win at Mania. Sasha said she was good after that injury. So let's see. She said she was good via Twitter after that injury. So we'll see where that goes. You're friends with him. Maybe know where's Brian Cage, haven't seen lately. Let's find out. See, this is why PNP Nation gets to hang out with me. I'm about to text Brian Cage right now. Let's find out. Live text to Brian Cage. I'm going to text him and see where he is. I'm doing my show live. Oh. Right now. And a fan asked about your whereabouts and why we haven't seen you. Looking forward to all right. Boom. Just texted Brian Cage. He's actually pretty good with texting me back, although he lives in California, though. I don't know if he's in California right now, but he typically, if he's in Cali, it's West Coast time, so it's only about a quarter to 10. So we shall see. I'm about to close up in a few, but if he texts me back before then, we may have an exclusive tonight on the Pancakes and Powerslams Show. Why is Brock carrying around a replica with standard side plates? Maybe he's going to lose. I would enjoy debating you on why the current Big E character isn't a main eventer. Was clear because WWE hasn't made him one. I think there's not much debate to that. They've made him terrible. Can be, though. Thoughts on WWE opening their Forbidden Door? WWE is about WWE. Okay, WWE is not. At the end of the day, there's a Forbidden Door, but WWE is all about rights, licensing. I mean, there's an MLW lawsuit going on with WWE because of antitrust. So, that pretty much says a lot right there. So I don't think there's going to be Forbidden Door continually with the WWE. They released over 80 people last year, so they're going to. So it's like, okay, we're not going to sign someone. I mean, the thing about it is good business though, because they're like, you know what, we're not going to use someone who's over catering for the Royal Rumble that we haven't seen in weeks on television, a lot of times even months. We're going to use people from the outside, pay them once to hype up the anticipation for the Royal Rumble, which ultimately, guess what, helps WWE with numbers and possible subscriptions to Peacock. So at the end of the day, it is good business. But as far as the Forbidden Door concept, we're not going to see that. We're not going to see that post Royal Rumble. Omos is the odds-on favorite. Yes, Vegas says so. Indeed. Drew and Liv. Liv has fell flat, unfortunately, y'all. I like Liv. She's very pretty. Ton of potential, but she's fell flat. Her promos are bad, man. They're just not good. Anyone from ROH? If I had it my way, it'd be Jay Lethal because he's still one of my favorites. But I think I wouldn't be surprised if we saw an EC3 come out for the Rumble. I wouldn't be surprised at that at all. Adam Scherr is in ROH. He's with the Control the Narrative deal with EC3. I don't know. It seems like it may be still a sweet spot with a soft spot. Not sweet spot, but soft spot. Very sour spot. A soft spot with Adam Scherr, Braun Strowman. But we'll see. I mean, money talks. We shall see. Ricochet. Ton of potential, man. Ton of potential. World champion status. I'm not sold on it yet. I'm willing, but I'm not sold on it. Yeah, I think they still got like 10 more though, Aaron. I think they've last time I checked there were 18. I think there were 2 more announced, so I think there's 20 that's named unless they announce some more, but there's still about 8 to 10 spots left. So still some anticipation. Man, that's the thing. Every year there's 30 people in the WrestleMania, minus 2011 they had 40, right? And earlier once they had 20, like in 88 they had 20. So typically every single year for the Royal Rumble, there's 3 to 5 people who has a chance to win. Every year, 3 to 5 people who have a chance to win. All right. So that means that you have 25 to 27 people who don't have a chance to win, who are filler. All right. So at the end of the day, you want to give us an anticipation of someone who's coming out next the hype for Royal Rumble is nowadays, and it's been like this for a while, who's going to be a potential surprise? Okay, so how you book the Royal Rumble is you have some favorites come out within the 30 and you spread them out. So the fans are saying, okay, well, this person's coming in the Royal Rumble. He's a favorite, or the Women's Royal Rumble, she's a favorite. So we'll see how this person will pan out. Will this person get eliminated because this person is one of my favorites to win? Okay. So we're trying to figure out if that person gets eliminated or not. All right. Within those only 3 to 5 people who come out in the Royal Rumble, you also have the kind of subcategory of surprise entrance. So fans are waiting and waiting and waiting. Then you put the filler in between, like a, sad to say, but nowadays how he's booked, like an Apollo Crews or a Bobby Roode or Robert Roode. Those are fillers who are not going to win the Royal Rumble, but are going to put on a good showing. And then you have within that subcategory, you have the returns. So I mean, you have either the returns who are probably going to stay for a little bit longer. You have the surprise, one and done entrance, and then you have the favorites. Those are the 3 categories that are within the Royal Rumble, which makes the Royal Rumble one of my favorite pay-per-views to watch, by the way. But they just have to do it right, because there are years that they only had a few, and they really didn't mean much. So, all right, let's got a couple minutes left. Let me hurry up and 19 announced Alexa and Bailey would be it. Leaves 9 to fall with no real options. Okay. I like 9. WWE announced Sasha will be out 6 to 8 weeks. Okay. She'll be back in time for Mania then. Mania is in April. So 8 weeks from now is around mid-March. So she'll be back. She'll be back in about 3 weeks before Mania. So that's good. Bob Saget's passing, and could this be the year we finally see David Benoit join a major wrestling company, maybe AEW? Good question, actually. I think he should join WWE. I think, again, I've said this before, he should not be blacklisted because of what his dad did. I mean, come on now. That's ridiculous. David Benoit is the innocent one here. He should be blacklisted because of what his dad did. And Nancy should not be blacklisted because of what her husband did, because of what her husband did. Nancy Benoit should be in the WWE Hall of Fame. Are you kidding? Like, why is the WWE delaying the inevitable? Nancy, women should be in the WWE Hall of Fame, without a doubt. 100%. Unquestioned, without question. So for them to blacklist them, I mean, come on now. Why are you blacklisting the victim? The actual victim, woman. Like, that makes absolutely no sense to me. If anything, you want to, for the family's sake, such a black cloud of the whole family because of that heinous incident, that you want to create some positive from that and put women in the Hall of Fame, man. David Benoit, I think we'll see. I can see an MLW, and I can also see New Japan for David Benoit. I think David Benoit in New Japan would be pretty cool. As far as Bob Saget, I loved Full House. That was one of my favorite sitcoms. So very sad to see. Keith is asking Jay Cargill winning the TBS championship. Awesome look, phenomenal look. Super green though, super green. Doesn't even really know what her character is. Storm-ish. She's, I mean, like, potential through the roof, though. Amazing build, 5'10", just a ton of potential. I really like Jade as far as potential. I think that they're doing some premature moves with her, though. I don't think she's ready to capture a championship. And who is she? Like, who's Jade Cargill? And she's not really honing her character in very well. She just needs some. She needs some reps. You know, I just wouldn't have put the championship on her yet, though. But she needs some reps, though. But just amazing potential, though. Amazing potential. I like her. All right, a few more real quick. People saying Jericho. I wouldn't mind it, but knowing, based on Vince's history, that would be a surprise. But you know that he's not going to win it, so I wouldn't really care. Like, I really wouldn't even want him to be in it because he's not going to win. Like, he has no chance of winning it. Bring in legends to do one-offs for the surprise entrance, like a Godfather or something like that. It was cool to see that. Or Gangrel, bring those people back in for those one-offs. That feel-good legend comeback. I'm cool with it. But, like, Jericho's not in that category yet. So he's an active AEW wrestler. So it doesn't help Jericho's stock whatsoever. What's antitrust? Basically, okay, so Vice wanted to work with MLW. Vice was already working with Vince McMahon. Vince with WWE. Vince McMahon basically was mad at Vice, said, you're working with us. Essentially, I'm paraphrasing. You're working with us. I'm upset that you're trying to work with AEW. And basically, that causes Vice, AEW to miss out on some really good revenue and some really good opportunities to work with Vice because of Vince McMahon kind of blocking that potential partnership. So that is antitrust. I haven't turned on my other screen yet, so I'll just use my phone to give you the actual legal definition of antitrust. But I just put it in layman's terms, though. But let's see. Antitrust laws is a collection of mostly federal laws that regulate the conduct and organization of business corporations and are generally intended to promote competition and prevent monopolies. There you go. There you go. Here we go again. Investopedia says antitrust laws are regulations that encourage competition by limiting the market power of any particular firm. All right. So in this case, WWE cannot monopolize the ability to show wrestling product on Vice. All right. Let's see. Real quick. WWE seems to me will only open a Forbidden Door company they don't see as a threat or about to purchase. Yep, good point. Alundra Blaze. I can see that. Yeah, I can see that, Mike. It's a good call. I can definitely see Alundra Blaze. Rude and some filler. Him and Ziggler are getting a good put. No, they're not. That may be a joke. No, they're not getting a good push. Robert Roode is a filler. Are you kidding me? They're not getting any push. They won a six-man match on Raw. Other than that, they lose often. Have I had a chance to see Hook wrestle? Yes, I've seen. Yeah, I've seen all of Hook's matches. Hook is good. I like it. I like Hook. Unfortunately, he's green, so I hope that this Sin Hook stuff don't get to his head. But with wrestling fans, though, fads are like foods in a microwave. They only last in there for a long time, for a short amount of time, typically, and then they get cold. So, yeah, I mean, it's kind of like CM Punk. I mean, people were crying, literally crying when CM Punk came back, and now he's like, yesterday's news. CM Punk still is over. I'll give you definitely, but he doesn't have that feel anymore. Fear is winning the Royal Rumble, yes. Rhea Ripley won the Royal Rumble and challenged Charlotte since Charlotte missed Mania last year. No, they already went against each other. We'll probably see something with Nikki ASH and Rhea Ripley or something like that. Cool. Can I see Big Swole's surprise Rumble entry? No. Big Swole also had a bunch of potential, by the way. Totally agree, but I can see WWE's reason. It would only bring up Chris if they allow David and the woman going. The Hall. The Hall, especially would remind people of Chris, but yes, David the victim, and he should not be blacklisted. Yeah, I mean, I'd be willing to. I'd be willing to bring people. Like, I can't control people's thinking. Like, I'm not going to not put woman in the Hall of Fame who absolutely should be in the Hall of Fame and is the victim. Like, she was killed here. I mean, like, are you kidding? Like, this doesn't make any sense to me. So what if people think about Chris Benoit? That's not my issue. Woman should be in the Hall of Fame. She was a very prominent figure without Chris Benoit, with Ric Flair, with ECW, Kevin Sullivan rivalry, 100% Hall of Fame. Cool. Let's see what else we got. Fox owns Tubi. MLW had a deal, and Stephanie threatened Fox. Very interesting. Yeah, that's not good. That's whack. That's definitely antitrust. No, they don't win almost every week. That's not first of all, Ricky, that's not a push. You're hit or miss, Ricky. You've been hitting a lot lately, but I mean, come on now, man. You get some confirmation bias, and you keep running with it. They're not being pushed. They're not, like, come on now. That's not the definition of a push. They lost. Dolph Ziggler lost on January 3rd. They lost to they keep losing super shows. Lost to RK Bro. Ziggler lost to Riddle. Yeah, that was Survivor. That was the Survivor Series. lost to AJ Styles and Omos. Yeah, I mean, they don't win every week. I just proved that they don't win every week. They lose a lot. They're not pushed whatsoever. That's total cognitive bias. You just made that up in your head. Okay, Styles and Owen, I have to check it out. Title for title at Mania, who should win? It won't be title for title. It won't be title for title. They're not gonna dissolve the UV title or WWE Championship. Rick Steiner should induct woman. Huh, interesting. I think someone from ECW, probably the Sandman, since they got a tie. They got some ties there. Did Brian Cage respond? No, he didn't. Might be asleep. He definitely Robbie E did though. Mike. He did not confirm or deny. And he was a bit rude actually. So we've talked on the phone, I've texted him back and forth before. He kind of pretended that he didn't know who I was. Although he's been on my show multiple times. And we've actually talked on the phone before and texted back and forth before, but he can't confirm or deny. And he would have flat out said no if it would have been no. So we shall see. There's your answer, Mike. Cool. All right. Well, PMP Nation, this was fast. I was only planning on going 40 minutes, but we had a good time, and this was fast. You guys always make this job much funner and funnier. Top wrestler, top guy come out. Would it affect them? Nowadays, no. No. All right. All right, PMP Nation. I gotta get some rest. All right. This was fun. Super fun. Went super fast. Fun time. All right. Episode 511 in the books. Until next week, enjoy your week of rest. I think we'll do no, I think I'll wait for the 20 I think I'll wait for the 25th for that. I was thinking about doing Royal Rumble trivia. I'll do it the Tuesday before Royal Rumble. So 2 Tuesdays from now. Cool. All right, PMP Nation. Until next week, enjoy Rick Wrestling. God bless, and always remember, I do it for you. Have a good night, everybody.